Happy 15th birthday, Figge!
Live from Prairie Oaks, welcome everyone to the Figge finale. I'm Sarah Voles, Director of Development and recently Internet Certified Co-MC for the evening. And joining me tonight is our amazing Executive Director, Michelle Hargrave.
Well, what a special night this is to celebrate the Figge's 15th anniversary. As we kick off our virtual event this evening, we would like to take a moment to enter the evening in the next 15 years with good hearts and prayers, taking a moment to think of our loved ones here and past, family, friends, our neighbors, and all those around us who have been affected by the events of 2020. Let us come together to reminisce, support each other, and heal to lead the way to a brighter tomorrow. Thank you, Regina Sosi, Larry Lockwood, and the Native American Coalition of the Quad Cities for opening the evening with a sacred smudging ceremony of the Figge.
Every breath we have and take is sacred. If someone could count the breaths from the day we're born to the day we die, there's a finite number, there's only so many. And, I do this in a good way. With these smudging in a good way. And we do them for the people, because this is how we serve the people, by, singing for the people. That drum will teach us how to work together, because we're all drumming in one beat. But it also teaches us how to listen to each other, because we're singing. circle over here.
All right, thank you everybody for being here today. This is a really nice summer day here. My name is Regina Sosi, and I'm the president of the Native American Coalition of the Quad Cities. And I wanted to thank my friends in the Native American community here, and Larry and Dan and Mike and Pam, no, Marty and Pam, Kim and Mike and Veronica, yes, all right. I know we were here to honor the Figge on this 15th anniversary, and this is why we're here. And Larry was so gracious in smudging the building, starting from the east and then to the south and then the west and the north. And we also smudged ourselves too to make sure that we do things in a good way, that everything is positive here, especially with this being the big celebration. So during the month of August. So thank you very much, my friends, my family, my relatives, the community of the Figge. Thank you for the invitation, for inviting us here to be a part of this huge 15th anniversary celebration. So thank you so much. I wanted to start off with a land acknowledgement, and this is recognizing the ancestral lands of the indigenous peoples who lived here, who made this land their home. And a few of those nations who lived here many, many, many hundreds of years ago, well, even before that, because indigenous people had been in this country, North America, South America, for over tens of thousands of years. But those who particularly either lived here, made this their home, or had traveled in this area, or canoed down the rivers or the streams, or hunted in this area, or farmed or fished in this area, those nations are the Kiowa, the Kickapoo, Potawatomi, Osage, Omaha, Odawa, Meskwaki, the Sauk, Illini, the Winnebago, Ojibwe, Anishinaabe, and there are just many others who had made this area their home. So we just wanted to recognize that and to honor the ancestors who came here before us. Those who brought our medicines, those who brought the songs, those who brought the ceremonies, and if they weren't, had lived the way they lived, no, we would not be here. So we honor ancestors in that way. We honor our people today, and we honor our people, tomorrow. So thank you very much for having us here. Thank you for being here too. So at this time, I want to introduce Larry Lockwood, Northern Cheyenne, and he will do the invocation.
When we do this, what we're doing here today at the Figge, it's like we're putting a big X on the ground, and we're saying that this is the center right here. This is going to be the center of the hoop while we do this today. And as we stand at the center, we're looking around at the four directions, and we're here serving the people when we do these blessings, when we're honoring tobacco, and being here in the four directions and facing the east, I'm reminded that this is the symbol of all the beginnings. Everything that's begun is how our life begins in this world as a child. The day begins with the sunrise. And even these things that we choose to do in our life's work, these can begin in this direction too, these different kind of beginnings. And these children, in this direction, talking about that in this place today. Those children who love without knowing what love is and who trust without knowing what trust is, that is how we know what love and trust is, because when we were children, we were love and we were trust. Those are the gifts from the East that we're given. And the blessings for all the new beginnings, for the beginnings of everything, these different kinds of things that are beginning in our lives, projects, all kinds of things. And then, we turn to the South. And to the South, that's the summertime. The first season is the spring, when everything comes in new life. But the second direction to the South is the summertime. And this is a time when everything comes into full bloom, that all living things are given this amazing power to grow. And this is where our teenagers, this is their path of life, is in the South. And they too are given this amazing power to grow. And we see our young people given their medicine during this time, and they can go from being, this tall to being this tall, looking at you right in the eye, just in one summer. And this amazing power to grow is so potent that it pushes these young people through any experience, good or bad, and they grow in that way. And so it's important for us on this day today too, that we remember that this is a place that we're going to offer those kind of good things to grow in a good way. This is a place of knowledge. This is a place where young people can come and learn and open their eyes and hearts to new things. And this is the South. This is that power to grow. And as we turn again for directions, and we honor the West, and the West is the fall time of year. This is a time of, of hibernation. This is a time when bear prepares to go into hibernation. This is the fall time. And, that preparation to go inside that den is a symbol of us becoming more introspective, us going within ourselves. And in that way, during this time as an adult, to accept ourselves as we truly are. And even on a day today, on this day, standing here in the four directions at the Figge, we honor that direction, the West, in the fall time and the bear. And we honor all of our adults, all of us. This is where we honor ourselves and we pray for ourselves. And then we look to the north. And the north is the winter time of the year, and that's the path of an elder. And this is the time of completion. This is the time when we ask for those blessings, for those things that are completed. And even an organization as the Figge, in our community, this is the time too of their completion too. And completion leads to renewal. Thanking Creator for completing these plans that we've made during these times in our lives. And, plans change too. And as some things close and finish in the north, again, we turn to the east and they're reborn again. And that's how we do it. That's what we're doing today. We're here and we're facing the east again, and we're gonna say thank you for these things that have been completed up to this very day. The accomplishments that not just us as a community, but as a Figge museum, the accomplishments that the Figge has made and completed during this blessing right now in this time of renewal. And we look to the children, we look to the young people, we look to the adults, and we look to our elders to come to this place here in truth and beauty and goodness. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this beautiful day, and just thank you for these hearts and minds that have come together. And thank you for the leadership of the Figge Museum and for those people that have just tirelessly worked here for the people, bringing these things for the people and for their enjoyment and for their learning and for their medicine. And we humbly ask your blessing this day too on this building. We humbly ask your blessing on the work that's being done in this building. And we humbly ask you to bless the hearts and minds of those people who are right here in the Figge working, the board, the president, all of the people that are here working. We humbly ask your blessing on each and every one of their hearts and minds. And like the eagle we see, humbly ask you to lift their hearts and minds up high like that so we can see in a good way. In a good way, we look across to the future and see good things happening for our community. And I just want to say thank you for this beautiful day and thank you for the hearts and minds as we move forward in this day. We'll move forward again, starting our journey around the medicine wheel again. But we pause for this blessing today. And we humbly thank you for this blessing. In the name of your Son. Amen. Now what I'd like to do is we're going to offer an honor song. And we're going to face the east. And then as we are singing, we're going to sing verses and we're going to start turning. After the fourth verse, we'll be facing the north again. So we're going to honor this place and honor these directions and honor those prayers.
Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh.
At this time, we'd like to offer a friendship dance as a way to conclude our blessing ceremony today. I just want to take this time to thank each and every one of you for being here today. And it's a good day to do this. I'm so glad we're not out there working on our suntans right now. Oh my goodness. Yes, it is very, very hot out there. So it's a blessing to be in here too. So what we're going to go ahead and do is sing a friendship dance. And I think Pam knows the dance, and so does Kim. So we're going to go ahead and you want to step to your left. Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to ask the drummers to go ahead and go in there too. Yeah, the drummers.
That's right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much.
I said 6 feet. Shame on you.
6 feet.
I just want to thank everybody for being here today. I know.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Thank
Yes, thank you for being here. Good to see you, Pam. Oh, okay, Pam. Yeah, look out, man. Lift them chicken wings up. Come on. There you go. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Come on. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
Thank you to the Quad City Native American Coalition for supporting the Figge when we opened and now. We are grateful to your dedication to the Quad Cities to promote the affiliation of Native Americans and of all nations who reside here and non-Native friends into educational, civic, and cultural organizations. Michelle, we have so many guests and surprises tonight. We're really in store for a treat, especially with so many of those joining us from all over. Hello, everybody out there. Say hi. We have people at the outing club, in their home, everybody's socially distanced at their patios, all over joining us. And so we're so happy to have you here. And a special thanks to the Singh group and the Singh family for hosting this evening. It's very brave of you to say yes when we call and ask you if we can start large fires at your house. Without further ado, let's hear from our very own Executive Director, Michelle Hargrave, and our Board President, Ken Kopel.
Hello, my name is Michelle Hargrave, and I'm Executive Director and CEO of the Figge Art Museum. I would like to welcome you to our 15th anniversary finale. A special thank you to the Singh Group Merrill Lynch for being our premier sponsor. Thank you to Tony and Joyce Singh and family for allowing us to hold this part of our finale in your home. A special thank you to the Native American Coalition of the Quad Cities for the blessing of the building. I would also like to thank Steve Banks and Terry Rathje for taking charge of this evening's grand finale, the burning of the Figge's debt mortgage. I would also like to thank all of you. Because of strong support from our community over the past 15 years, the Figge has become a place where people of all backgrounds can gather to learn, share, grow, connect, relax, and play. We're the cultural anchor of the Quad Cities, and last year we served over 86,000 people, including visitors from all 50 states and many foreign countries. Our guests enjoy exhibitions featuring world-renowned artists, both traditional and contemporary, and our educational programs serve over 3,400 Quad Cities students, and nearly 17,000 students participate in the Big Picture Outreach program in classrooms. We are proud to enrich the lives of those in our region now and to help build a stronger tomorrow through our education and outreach programs at the museum, in our schools, in our community, and online through our virtual museum. Our museum began with a donation. A gift of 334 paintings from Charles Auguste Figge to the city of Davenport formed the nucleus of the Davenport Municipal Art Gallery's permanent collection in 1925. From there, the museum grew to become the Davenport Museum of Art in 1987. As time passed, the community called for a larger museum which could serve its needs. In 2005, the Figge Art Museum, designed by Sir David Chipperfield, opened to the public. The 114,000 square foot building is an artwork in and of itself and a regional icon for our community to enjoy. The community came together to support the construction of the building with gifts ranging from $50 to $13 million. We couldn't have built the building without every single contribution. The building construction totaled $47 million, and at the end of our fundraising, we did have some remaining debt. We are thrilled to announce that on our 15th anniversary, we have paid off that residual construction debt. The elimination of the mortgage was made possible thanks to the support of donors and community partners, including the City of Davenport, the Hubble Waterman Foundation, John Deere Foundation, Quad City Bank and Trust, Regional Development Authority, Scott County Regional Authority, the Bechtel Trust, and Vision Iowa. When I visited the Figge for the first time last September, I was blown away by the beauty of the building, by its design, its position overlooking the Mississippi, the flow of the spaces, and even the state-of-art HVAC systems that protect its important works of art. The building continues to take my breath away when I take a walk by the river and the sun reflects majestically off the green glass. And I apologize to friends on Facebook for the repeated postings of this view. In the time since I've arrived, I have come to have a better understanding of the Figge. Over the past 15 years, the museum has become a centerpiece of downtown Davenport and the cultural hub of the community. Inside the Figge, you can see world-class artwork within the Quad Cities, be creative in studio classes, have interactions with art with your kids, hear renowned scholars and artists speak in our auditorium, and meet up with old and new friends. As Sir David Chipperfield said, architecture is about, quote, making things happen and trying to capture that energy at the appropriate place, unquote. And our galleries, studios, auditorium, and open lobby allow us to bring our community together to learn about and enjoy art, build relationships, foster dialogue, and enhance well-being. Last year, until we temporarily closed, the Figge served over 52,000 people. As we move forward and continue to navigate these uncertain times and work to recover the significant financial loss due to the temporary closure and cancellation of in-person events, the Figge staff continues to come up with creative ways of reinventing our offerings and building upon the foundation of our past to stay relevant. In addition to all of our virtual offerings to celebrate the 15th anniversary, we also have a virtual museum that offers ways to connect to the museum from the comfort and safety of your home. From virtual art exhibitions and educational art videos to audio tours, family activities, and art prompts, there are a number of ways to engage. As we developed the programming for the 15 days of our 15th anniversary, we created events that celebrated some of the highlights of our educational programming, exhibitions, acquisitions, and collaboration with artists over the 15 years. We also looked ahead to our next major exhibition, For America, 200 Years of Painting from the National Academy of Design. This exhibition will open on February 20th, 2021. It will tell the story of a developing America and American identity, and the evolution of art and artists within our country through the oldest artist honorary society in America, the National Academy of Design. For America will consist of over 90 works by renowned American artists such as Frederick Edwin Church, Cecilia Bow, Winslow Homer, William Merritt Chase, John Singer Sargent, and Andrew Wyeth. In fact, tonight, we are auctioning an opportunity to win the Andrew Wyeth self-portrait sponsorship through our online auction. Visit our website, figgeartmuseum.org, to bid. For the past 15 days, we have been so touched by the support that the community has shown us, ensuring that we continue our mission of bringing art and people together. And I am humbled by the outpouring of support for the Figge during our anniversary celebration. Our community members have shared memories and stories with me about the museum and how it has made an impact on their lives. And I invite you to post your Figge story on our social media pages so we can all celebrate the Figge's beginnings, how it has grown over the years, and what it has become. Finally, I would like to say a special thanks to Tom and Jennifer Figge for their match donation, and to ask you to consider making a gift between August 6th through the 21st, which will be matched dollar for dollar up to $5,000. Thank you again for all of your support. We look forward to making many more memories with you.
Well, good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this special anniversary celebration of the opening of the Figge Art Museum in this beautiful building 15 years ago. It's been my honor to serve as president of the Figge Art Museum Board of Trustees for the past 2 years. I would especially like to thank the Board of Trustees, the staff, the sponsors, and the volunteers who made this anniversary so very special. 17 years ago, this beautiful museum building was just a figment of our imagination. It came from the idea of having a jewel along the Mississippi River that would bring people from all of the Quad Cities and around the world to Davenport, Iowa. A museum where people from all walks of life could connect, share, and learn. A museum that could serve its mission of bringing art and people through art education and outreach throughout our region. Thanks to the tireless work and support of our community, 2 years later, the new building became a reality, and the Davenport Art Museum moved from the hill in West Davenport to this gorgeous and architecturally significant building in downtown Davenport, standing tall and brilliant by the Mississippi River. And so it is today that we gather to celebrate this historic move and the beautiful structure which has served as a catalyst for the great renaissance of downtown Davenport. You know, having been part of the Davenport community for many years, I was proud of the former Davenport Art Museum, but always felt it could be more than what it was. It was my observation, and I think of many others in this community, that the museum should increase its outreach, programming, and expand their collections. Well, a move to a new building does not automatically change an organization's culture. So I am here today and very proud to tell you what you already know. Today, the Figge Art Museum has become the cornerstone and shining star of our whole community. Glass and steel did not make this happen. Over the years, the Board of Trustees, staff, sponsors, and volunteers worked very hard to meet the community's expectations. This included growing the quality and diversity of our exhibitions, increasing the art in our collections, bringing education and programs to people of all ages, especially the youth from our schools, and significantly increasing the number of people who tour our galleries. But also, one of our greatest accomplishments was something that we eliminated. It was with great joy that tonight we celebrate the burning of our mortgage as we have eliminated our debt. Yes, I am happy to report that the Figge is debt-free. So we are here not only celebrating the completion of this beautiful building 15 years ago, but we also honor and celebrate the hard work that culminated with the Figge's great accomplishment in meeting and exceeding the community's expectations, and to celebrate this institution that is debt-free, which will be an economic and cultural resource for the whole community to enjoy for many, many more years to come. I wish to thank all of you for sharing in this special occasion this evening.
You know, since moving to Iowa, I have been thankful for the support that the state of Iowa shows not only the Figge, but all the cultural organizations in the region. Our leaders understand that in order to build and sustain culturally vibrant communities, you need the arts. Tonight, a few of our Iowa legislative friends are here to celebrate with us. Let's welcome Davenport native and Representative Ross Wilburn and Congressman David Loebsack.
Hello, I'm Iowa State Representative Ross Wilburn in Ames, Iowa. I'm also a 1982 graduate of Davenport Central High School. Happy 15th anniversary to the Figge Art Museum in Davenport, and thank you for being a resource and just a treasure for the Quad Cities as well as the region. I remember in high school, I was in a Dixieland jazz band and we performed at the previous location. But it was just a great opportunity for young people to be around, looking at the art, listening to the music, and appreciated the experience that we as young people had at the museum with that performance. Thank you again for being just a great resource for the Quad Cities. It's important for not only your patrons, but the community, as well as our local and state governments to support the arts, to make sure that there's facilities, funding, and infrastructure available so that we can keep you in the future and have you doing the great work and inspiration that you're providing. So once again, happy anniversary, and I look forward to a future visit.
Hello everyone, I'm Congressman Dave Loebsack, and I'm honored to join you virtually to help celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Figge Art Museum in Davenport. I would like to thank Figge's Executive Director, Michelle Hargrave, for all the work she has done to help make Figge and this special anniversary such a success. The Figge is an institution in the Quad Cities region that works to bring art and people together. While we are celebrating the 15th anniversary of the Figge, Davenport has a long history of supporting the arts, going back to the early 1900s when the city established the Davenport Municipal Art Gallery in 1925. The museum began its collection thanks to Charles Figge, the former mayor of Davenport, who donated his personal collection of over 300 pieces to what would become the Figge. The current building, with its glass windows that look out over the Mississippi River, has contained many famous and important pieces of art over the years, including being the permanent home of the estate of Grant Wood. Today, the museum's collection has over 4,000 pieces, including its collection of Haitian work, colonial Mexican, and Midwestern art, with pieces by Thomas Hart Benton and Marvin Cone. Art museums play a valuable role in our communities and in our local economies, and it's clear that the Figge contributes greatly to Davenport's rich culture, heritage, and educational value. Museums create the kind of vibrant communities that help foster growth and make people want to live and invest in those same communities. The Figge is a testament of the kind of community that Davenport wants to be. I know many parts of the museum industry have been negatively affected by the COVID pandemic, and we must work to make sure these institutions get the support they need to keep themselves and the patrons who are visiting safe. I want to thank you again for inviting me to join you for this celebration, and look forward to making my way over to Davenport in the future to see what exciting new exhibits you will be hosting. Congratulations on your 15th anniversary. Thank you, and make sure you stay safe.
Wow, from a gift from the former mayor's private collection to today, what amazing transformation. As the congressman mentioned, COVID has greatly impacted all of us. Michelle, how has it impacted the Figge?
Well, when I arrived last December, obviously no one could have imagined what the year held in store. In March, for the first time since we opened in 1928, we closed the museum doors for several months as COVID took hold. We saw an immediate halt in revenue from closing and canceling all classes, programs, tours, and other events. That wasn't going to stop us, though. So we quickly changed course to implement a virtual museum in order to continue to share our exhibitions, collections, and educational programming online, focusing in 4 areas: engagement, education, wellness, and fun. And I think we had some fun creating some of those programs.
Sure did.
We also spent many hours preparing for reopening to ensure the best experience for all of our guests with health and safety in mind. You know, we've had great feedback on the steps that we've taken, with some saying that they feel like we're the safest place in the Quad Cities. And another guest said that she brought her 90-year-old mother to the Figge for her first trip out of the house since March, which it just warms my heart to think that she felt safe enough to do that. Going forward, we will continue to be committed to finding innovative and safe ways to serve our audiences as we understand the Figge's importance and the impact that it has on our region and community. The Figge has so much to offer in so many different ways, and our friend Channel 4 anchorman Jim Needleman says it's best as he shares his anniversary wishes. Over to you, Jim. I've always wanted to say that.
Hello, I'm Local 4 News anchor Jim Needleman, here to wish a happy 15th anniversary to the Figge Art Museum. I love the Figge and have since my first visit there. That first sight of the building up close, it's a work of art in itself and sets the tone for endless possibilities of creative expression. It's such a calm, peaceful, and welcoming place. The permanent collection is something I've enjoyed a few times, checking out the art by myself for some personal introspection, or guided by a docent. It's more than having a tour guide. These volunteers help tap into the creative experience and make you think. I was also awed by the French Moderns exhibit, some of the greatest artists on display. The Figge was one of a few galleries in the world able to showcase it. Absolutely fantastic. The Figge is also wonderful for promoting work from artists in the region. I remember being wowed by the feat that is portraits of Makokada, the individual paintings of the people who make up the community on one side, and a landscape of the pastoral setting on the other, put together in a fashion I've never seen before, an engineering and emotional artistic feat. My respect for the Figge goes beyond the art that's actually in the building. Its value is so much greater for its reach beyond the building. The work that the people of the Figge do by going into schools and exposing kids to the arts for the first time, tapping into their creative sides, and providing a way to express themselves they might not have thought of before. You can't put a value on that. I was personally touched by the Figge's partnership with the Quad Cities Community Foundation, Living Proof Exhibit, and Genesis Health System. This incredible collaboration brings the Figge to hospitals and provides guided tours to cancer patients while they're in chemotherapy for hours on end. An employee runs a computer with the patient and controls a robot at the museum with a docent leading the conversation. Absolutely remarkable. It was uplifting, moving, and inspirational to see. That's what the Figge does best. It inspires. What a wonderful asset it's been to the Quad Cities for 15 years. It's for you, it's for me, it's for everyone.
The Figge has grown so much since opening 15 years ago. The wide variety of programming and activities we provide for the community is just simply amazing.
Well, we plan on continuing and growing for many years to come. Unfortunately, as we get older, issues crop up, and like many others in the community right now, we will also need a new roof someday. So, any good roofers out there looking to support the arts? If so, all joking aside, I'm grateful for all those who have supported us and helped pave the way to this evening. The team and I are dedicated to serving the museum's mission of bringing art and people together and building a stronger Quad Cities through the power of art. We ask that you consider joining us in supporting our efforts. Especially tonight, we have wonderful items to bid on through our online auction that ends this evening, including original artworks by D.D.A. William, Tim Schiffer, and Ellen Wagner, plus many other wonderful items.
I'm really trying to go after that Davenport Outing Club membership. That sounds like a really good thing to bid on. Wait a minute. If I'm here, I'm not bidding. I don't know if I'm getting outbid. Ooh.
You better run off.
I should probably go.
Well, you may also donate, which will be matched dollar for dollar up to $5,000, thanks to the generosity of Thomas and Jennifer Figge. You can also do so by visiting our website or text Figge, F-I-G-G-E, to 844-844-6844. But links will also be provided in the chat. You can also contact our wonderful development team, as we have many other opportunities such as exhibition sponsorships, pledges, endowments, Figge Society legacy giving, volunteer opportunities, and more that all support our mission and can be tax deductible. You know, Sarah, I've made so many friends since my arrival that have shared the history of the Figge with me. Most recently, I got to actually see the Figge evolve and grow over the years thanks to Bruce Walters, professor of art. He has created a marvelous video that shows the Figge from before it opened to present day, and he's joined in this endeavor by his colleague, Richard Huey, and the Western Illinois University Symphony Orchestra, performing the first movement of Beethoven's Sixth Symphony, one of my favorites.
Mine too.
While you all are watching, please feel free to share your best Figge memory in the chat.
Michelle, we're getting much closer to that big moment. How you feeling?
Oh my gosh, this is an incredible moment. You know, to think about it, we went from humble beginnings in 1928 as the Davenport Municipal Art Gallery to the Davenport Museum of Art on Museum Hill in the 1960s to 110,000 square foot sparkling jewel of a building on the Mississippi, one of the first architectural commissions in the United States, designed by British architect Sir David Chipperfield. This is just amazing. And I'm thrilled that we get to share this moment with all of you who made it happen. Our museum, of course, gets its name from the V.O. and Elizabeth Call Figge Foundation, which generously donated $13 million towards the $47 million construction. Thanks to the community coming together, we only had $3 million left in debt when we opened the doors 15 years ago, and now we've paid it in full. And in just a little while, we will disintegrate that mortgage forever. And this moment is only possible because really, we have a community that's like no other. This would never have been achieved without the help of so many, including wonderful partners such as the Quad City Cultural Trust and John Deere. And I'm honored to welcome John May, CEO of John Deere, to share his anniversary message for the Figge.
Hello, I'm John May, Chairman and CEO of Deere & Company. For the last 15 years, Deere and the Figge have shared a common mission and worked to connect art to innovation and the community. The Figge sits at the center of the Quad Cities cultural hub, providing what every successful community needs, a shared inspirational experience that leads to a sense of belonging and adds to the quality of life for all of us. This relationship began in 2002, when the John Deere Foundation pledged $1 million to the Figge's capital campaign. The result was a stunning new structure that has housed and hosted some of the world's most prominent art collections and exhibits, while also focusing on education and preservation. Later, our foundation was one of 3 parties that established the Quad Cities Cultural Trust, with John Deere pledging $8 million in support. The Cultural Trust has helped ensure the area's major arts and cultural institutions, including the Figge, remain alive and vibrant. Collectively, John Deere, as well as its employees, retirees, and the foundation, have donated more than $11 million over the last decade and a half to the area's arts venues. We consider it putting our money where our heart is. But we also understand that support goes beyond means. To champion a cause, to celebrate a purpose, there needs to be appreciation and connection. In recent years, we have collaborated on bringing the John Deere story of innovation and vision to our home region, and the Figge has been a supportive partner in that mission. Whether it was showcasing the works of Walter Haskell Hinton and his humanization of John Deere farm equipment, or this year's Henry Dreyfuss exhibit, Designs for a Modern Age, the Figge has helped tell a story of bold design that, as Dreyfuss put it, fits machine to man. In recognizing the Figge's 15th anniversary, we shouldn't overlook one other milestone in this journey. The Figge now owns its world-class museum, free and clear. As you retire your mortgage, I hope the Figge staff and all of its supporters celebrate the economic, social, and educational value that has been created for our area, value that goes far beyond the cost of the building. Thank you and congratulations to the Figge for 15 important and influential years.
Michelle, you know that no one knows this building better than Sir David Chipperfield. I mean, this is his baby. I wonder if he's here with us tonight. David?
Hello, everybody in Davenport. First of all, I'm so sorry not to be there with you today on this wonderful occasion. I remember so well, 15 years ago, doesn't time fly, 15 years ago, the wonderful day we had opening the building. And I can imagine you all there overlooking the wonderful Mississippi, hopefully all socially spaced and wearing masks. Let me also say hello to all my friends, to all the wonderful people who were connected with the project and those who made it happen. I have very fond memories of Davenport and the Quad Cities, of my many visits there. I think I probably have the record of an Englishman going, the most visits of an Englishman to Davenport, Iowa. My team and I became very fond of the region and looked forward to our trips there. They were very happy times, thanks to the friendliness and enthusiasm of everyone who was so kind to us. Like many cities, the downtown of Davenport suffered through poor planning, decline of retail, migration of people out to the suburbs, and to the development of out-of-town shopping and shopping malls. As a consequence, the downtown had at that time lost much of its vitality and was, to be honest, blighted by too many empty shops and too many car parking ramps. In spite of this, many of you were determined to reverse this trend and bring life and commerce and activity back to the downtown area. Central to this vision and to the efforts was the construction of a new museum in the heart of the downtown. Me and my team were fortunate and happy to be selected and to be part of this initiative, and we were so honored to be included in this wonderful attempt to give confidence back to the city and to the downtown. Making any building is an effort and requires collaboration, coordination, and substantial resources. For most building projects, commercial reward and clear functional purpose is the driver and supplies the motivation and the incentive. Making a public museum, however, that has no explicit commercial ambitions and whose purpose is dedicated to social and cultural improvement requires special energy and motivations. It draws on the generosity of individuals in spirit and in kind. It requires vision from the community, and it appeals to the idea of the common good and the importance of society itself. In a world increasingly dominated by commercial pressure and criteria, the idea of doing something for and with the community is a great tribute to those who insisted and persisted. This was an impressive commitment, both from the individuals that took on this challenge and from the community that supported them. The role of the architect and the professional team is not insignificant and not without its challenges. But the real achievement of building the Figge doesn't belong to us, but to those individuals from the community that made it happen. On a personal note, I look back on my time working on this project with great fondness. It was a wonderful experience to get to know Davenport and the Quad Cities and to experience the warmth and directness and the hospitality of the people. It was the first large museum I designed, and I will always be grateful for the trust that was given to me and my team by Tom Figge and the family and by the board, as well as the support, encouragement, and friendship given by everybody connected to the project. I made many good friends there, and I remember them with great affection. So hello to all of you. I'm not going to list you because I'll probably leave someone off, but you know who you are. Please enjoy the day. I'm sad not to be there with you, overlooking that wonderful river of yours, but proud that my office made a contribution to the cultural and social infrastructure of Davenport. And through architecture, we could give form to the cultural and social ambitions and aspirations of your wonderful community. Thank you so much. Once again, I'm sorry not to be there, but have a drink for me. And I really hope to see you soon when this terrible situation that we're all suffering through is over and we get back to some sort of normality. But in the meantime, enjoy yourselves today, and I look forward to seeing you before too long. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Michelle, this has been such a wonderful evening with so many friends and guests that have joined us. And, we have our great crew back here, Steve and Terry, who've been hard at work building this creative structure, artistic structure for this pivotal moment. We have been so lucky to have so many send us notes and share so many of their thoughts and memories and their wishes for the Figge.
Absolutely, and with the help of the Friends of the Figge volunteer group, those thoughts and wishes and messages were transformed into the beautiful origami shapes that we have attached to the structure behind me. It's all of those messages that have supported us in achieving this milestone of burning the mortgage and encourage us to continue our mission. I wanted to share a few of those messages tonight. Debbie Heidemann says, "Our family has beautiful memories of the Wizard of Oz exhibit. We came together at the Figge to experience the museum and its beautiful architecture during a family reunion. What a wonderful day."
Bonnie Fox shared with us that she's been involved with the Figge since the day it opened in 2005. The staff are wonderful resources, the docents are her best friends, and the trips and Thursday night programs are a staple in her life.
And Don and Connie Decker said, "We have loved the Figge since we saw the architect's proposed rendition of the building. Our fondness has grown as the years pass and the art programs have advanced. The Figge is for everyone." I would agree with that.
Yeah. And Debbie Stafford, one of our board members, shared that every time she comes to the Figge, she always learns something new, and she usually meets somebody, some interesting person, and without exception, has fun.
Well, Debbie, I think, has fun wherever she goes.
Yes, she does.
I also have a very special memory and anniversary message from Quad City native Eric Olson, who many of you may know better as NCIS's Detective Marty Deeks.
Ooh.
Figge Art Museum, 15 years. That building is paid off, and you know what we're going to do now? We're going to party. And we're going to start that party off by burning the mortgage. And I don't mean that from a metaphorical standpoint. I mean that from an actual standpoint. We're going to pull out the mortgage, we're going to take a lighter, and we're going to watch it burn. Because what a better representation of art over finance and art over corporate America and big banks. The people won. And the people won because the art won. And you guys are a perfect representation of that. What an amazing contribution you guys have brought to the Quad Cities. And maybe the best example of that are the educational tours you're doing with kids, introducing kids to art and the importance that art plays in our lives. I know that I took my son to the museum when I was in town a couple years ago, and understanding that art is not something we are so separate from, that was made hundreds of years ago, we place on the wall and we don't touch. The maker space, where he got to sit down and connect with the process of making art, of taking a representation of our values and what we believe and how we see the world and putting it into art. You can't have a more fantastic experience than that. I celebrate you. I celebrate the people that work there. I celebrate the volunteers. I celebrate the people that help donate money to pay off this mortgage. What an incredible accomplishment. What an amazing thing to be a part of. It's incredible. You guys are incredible. I salute you and congratulations. Yeah, 15 years. Burn it. Burn that mortgage.
Well, we all heard what Eric said. Let's burn this mortgage. So we can't thank the Singh family enough for hosting us tonight and for all of your support. So thank you, Tony, Joyce, Eliza, Kyle. Thank you. We're so incredibly grateful. Would you mind sharing how you became involved with the Figge, and more importantly, how did we rope you into letting a bunch of people come out here and start a fire on your property?
Sure, Michelle. So actually, the Singhs are very fond of burning things, I must say, and it's part of what we do on the property itself to maintain both the prairie as well as keep invasive species down. So burning things can be an act of love as much as it can be an act of destruction, and I think we're all here to do both tonight with the mortgage. So that said, we've had a long relationship with the Figge that goes back almost a decade now. I think the Singh Family Foundation, Joyce and Tony Singh Family Foundation and the Figge have very shared values. So just like the museum's mission is to bring art and people together, the Joyce and Tony Singh Family Foundation is to bring people and the land together. And so every year we have multiple young people that come out in between their class schedules or in between jobs and work and learn a love of the land here. And so because you guys are such staples and roots in this community, we think there's a lot of joint benefit to being in this partnership together. And actually in 2016, we did do our Picture of the Prairie initiative together, which was a lot of fun. We brought a lot of different organizations in the Quad Cities together for that. And that was, I think, very indicative of what we're doing here tonight as well. And then we were the annual Gala Art at Heart sponsors. This would have been our 8th year, so we'll go ahead and skip next year for that event. But it's been a really long relationship between my family and the museum.
Well, that's wonderful. We're so incredibly grateful for all your support. You've been wonderful partners.
Of course.
So, you know, this is really a special day for the Figge. Not only is that it's celebrating 15 years, but we're burning our mortgage. So, you know, during your day job,
right,
when you're not hosting all of us, I know that you and Tony are wealth management advisors at the Singh Group at Merrill.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, there's a great significance to this event from that perspective as well. You know, Tony and I and our team are responsible for overseeing the financial lives of families we serve. And in times like this, which are very unexpected, you see that those foundational aspects of wealth management and having good, prudent use of your debt is a great thing to have, because those people and those organizations that really constructively and prudently use their liabilities are in a much better position through times like this. And what it means for the Figge is the money that we're raising and the money that we have for the museum is being proactive and not just reactive right now. So we see that as a great benefit to what the museum has been able to do through this really unforeseen time. So kudos to you, both from a professional and personal standpoint, for my entire family.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate that perspective as well.
Sure, absolutely.
So I now would actually like to turn it over to our Vice President of the board, Don. I'll let you come out and.
Okay. So this is the time that we've all been waiting for. So I'm going to make sure that I make you wait a little longer, just a little longer, because I want to introduce to you somebody that needs no introduction, Bud Gerke. I'd like you to join me, okay? Bud, you were the president of the board at the time that the Figge was built, correct?
Yep.
You know, and we wouldn't have you here today if it weren't for we wouldn't have the beautiful building we have today if it weren't for your efforts and the efforts of many other people. And I guess I'd just like to give you a little opportunity to talk a little bit about what that time was like.
Okay, hopefully you have a half hour or so. But thanks, Don. You know, I certainly appreciate that, but I think you must have had me as your last choice, because there were sure a lot of people who did a lot more blood, sweat, tears, and treasure than I did. Some of you might not know that this project actually started off as a remodel and a significant expansion of the old museum building up on the hill by Mother Goose and Fedgerberry Park. We engaged a prominent architecture firm from Minneapolis to help us with this. We were substantially through programming, and they had made preliminary drawings and a beautiful model, which we still have somewhere, and we ought to dust off so people can see. It would have been a beautiful building up on the hill, wonderful spaces. It would have served our needs perfectly. But this is another story of its own. But the events conspired to make it impossible to move forward on that. And while we were standing there scratching our heads, a voice from afar, Tom Figge's brother John, said, hey, if we can't have the project we want on that site the way we want it, we should consider other sites and maybe think about the work of other architects. And so, thus began an adventure of a lifetime. I'm sure all my colleagues would agree. And an adventure made all the more rich by all the benefits that have accrued to the city and the neighborhood. You know, and all from what David Chipperfield called from the beginning, sparkling gem by the Mississippi.
Okay, so now with that tease, let's let the good times roll.
Yeah. Woo!
What's that? I'm not putting the mortgage in.
All right.
We have the mayor of Davenport who's going to help us burn the mortgage. As the city has been a long time supporter of the Figge and a partner from the very beginning.
Oh my gosh, Don, be careful. No, I wanted you to be safe.
3, 2, 1.
Woo! There it goes.
There we go. Unfortunately, I'm never sufficiently afraid of anything.
It's okay. There it goes. Woo! Yeah, I know. Actually, that's a good thing about being in the country. They won't call the fire department.
You know, the guys didn't like it much.
I understand that. I mean, because the families didn't get treated equally.
Well, what they didn't like was that everybody was a reformed junkie. That's not who these are professionals that I'll talk about something about it later.
Yeah.
When do I need to do that now?
Do what?
So what do you think? Is this a great evening?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A toast to our hosts.
Of course, thank you.
Okay. A toast to the Figge's first 15 years.
Woo!
And a toast to its at least next 15, if not next 100 years.
Absolutely. Cheers.
You know, we're so delighted you're here, and most of you signed the liability waivers, I think, on the way in. We appreciate, your trust in us. Before we go, I'd like to make sure we thank some important people. I'd like to thank Wynn Schaefer and our Art at Heart Gallery Gala Committee for all their brilliant hard work and the brilliant ideas that they had to plan this event at this unusual time. I'd also like to thank all of our sponsors and partners over the 15 days of the Figge, and thank you all for coming and helping us celebrate this wonderful occasion. Now, don't forget to bid on your favorite auction item. That bidding ends at the end of this evening, is that correct?
Yeah.
You know, I think the money raised in that auction is going to assure the next 15 years, I'm sure, of the Figge. So please consider supporting the Figge, and please visit us on site and both on site and virtually often. We'd love to have you. Okay.
Thanks, John. All right. Woo! We did it. That deserves an elbow five for sure. It is. No, I know.
But you don't pass around a microphone.
No, yeah, I know. That's why I was glad I had him in the car.